يفنى الكل ويبقى هو ليس الباقي إلا هو الله 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 ما لي رب إلا هو.
I'm just going to recap very quickly. We said yesterday that from the verses الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ until مُفْلِحُونَ, the verses here are in connection with sincere Muslims. We said those who have brought faith, in other words it refers to those who have brought faith truly in Allah. In other words, the inner and the outer self is with Iman. Okay? We said the two verses which follow have been revealed in connection with the open kafirs. That, in other words, apparently they are unbelievers from apparent and from within, both ways. Okay? And then we said the 13 verses thereafter from Minan Nas are in regards to the hypocrites, to the munafiqeen, who are in reality unbelievers from within, but they pretend to be Muslims outwardly. Okay, we explained that yesterday. Now, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Okay, this verse of the Holy Quran, wherein Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us very clearly, those who believe without seeing. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. In other words, those who believe without seeing, meaning those who believe in the unseen. Okay, those who believe without seeing. Concerning this verse of the part of the verse of the Holy Quran, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Explaining this, the Mufassirin have stated the word ghaib is either in the meaning of an infinite noun. It is either in the meaning of an infinite noun, or it is the ism fa'il. Okay, or it is the ism fa'il, meaning the subject of the dua. Okay, in this case. Okay, in this case, they say the ghaib refers to that which cannot be attained through ordinary senses. Okay, in other words, to intellect or by self-evidence. This is in two categories. This ghaib is broken up into two categories. The first type is that for which there is no need for evidence. In other words, there is no evidence, meaning no need for evidence. It is self-evident. Okay? This is knowledge of the unseen, which is divine knowledge of Allah, which we call ilm zati. Which we call ilm zati, which is for Allah alone. Nobody else has ilm zati. It belongs to Allah. It's Allah's zat, the knowledge of Allah's zat. Okay, unattained. His own, Allah's knowledge, divine knowledge. Okay, so this is known as ilm zati. And it is this which is referred to in the verse of the Holy Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states that very clearly, عِنْدَهُ مِفْتَاهُ الْغَيْبِ لَا يَعْلَمُهَا إِلَّا هُوَ. Okay, this is what is referring to in this ayat. It is referring to the ilm ghaib that is with Allah. That which is with Allah, none has the knowledge of it. He does not give anybody the knowledge of it. Okay, except with himself. It is with himself. What knowledge is this? This is ilm zati. This is ilm zati. Okay, it is Allah's knowledge. And all those verses in the Quran which negate the unseen for other than Allah, all the ayats that negate unseen for any other than Allah, of this type, they are of the category of ilm zati. In other words, that's Allah's ilm, Allah's divine knowledge, right? On which there is no need. In other words, there is no evidence, meaning there is no need for evidence. It is self-evident. It belongs to Allah. Okay, and this is specific for Almighty Allah alone. Ilm zati is for Allah alone. It's not for anybody else. Okay. Now comes the second category. Okay, we know what ilm zati is now, right? Allah's knowledge. The second type of knowledge, second category of knowledge of unseen, is that which is supported by evidence. Is that which is supported by evidence. In other words, knowledge of the nature of the universe, its qualities, and all those things related to it, such as the laws of Shariah which relate to this. All the laws of Shariah which relate to this, the last day and all about it, the questioning on the last day, the resurrection, Qiyamah, etc. Okay, for which there is supporting evidence, which is attained by what Almighty Allah communicates to us. That is attained by what Allah Ta'ala communicates to us. We don't have that by ourselves. Nobody has self-knowledge. This is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't have this by ourselves. This is what Allah ta'ala communicates to us. This is what is being referred to here in this verse. This is what is being referred to here in this verse. Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghaib. Okay, the unseen of what will happen on Qiyamah, the unseen of Hashar and Nashar, etc. Okay. As for the other issues of the unseen which deal with Iman, okay, is that knowledge which is possessed by every believer. It's knowledge which every believer has. Since if he had no knowledge of this ghaib, in other words, if he had no knowledge of this, then he would not be a believer. Because for him to be a believer, what you must do? Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghaib. You must have knowledge in the unseen. You must be able to believe in the unseen. In other words, believe without seeing. We didn't see Allah. I'm expounding on what is written there. We don't see Allah, we don't see Jannat, we don't see Jahannam, but we believe. So what we believe in? Unseen, and what we have knowledge of? Because it's unseen, isn't it? But you can't compare our knowledge to the divine knowledge of Allah. Because Allah's knowledge is Zati. I'm expounding on what is here for your own understanding. Allah's knowledge is Zati, and our knowledge is Atai. Okay? Ours is what Allah communicated to us, which Allah blessed us with, so that we may understand all these things. Okay? So, they are saying very clearly in the Tafseer that if a person had no knowledge of this, then he would not be a believer. And the ghaib which Almighty Allah bestows upon His chosen servants, the ghaib which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows upon His chosen servants, namely the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam and the Awliya, is this type of ghaib. Is the second category. Okay, it is the second category. It is ilm atai. Or ghaib here, according to the Mufassirin, or ghaib here could mean, we're talking still about that, alladhina yu'minuna bil ghaib. Okay, so they say here, ghaib here could mean, could be in the sense of an infinitive noun. Okay, in other words, the source. Okay, according to grammatical application, there are two meanings to ghaib in this verse. Okay, there are two meanings to ghaib in this verse. One meaning would be as translated by the respected translator, which is Ala Hazrat Azim Al-Barakat radiallahu anh, and that is those who have brought faith without seeing. Those who have brought Iman without seeing. In the second context, it would mean, in the second context, the Mufassirin say it would mean those believers who brought faith in absence. Those believers who brought faith in absence. In other words, their faith is not like that of the hypocrites, who brought faith only as a pretense. They only pretended to bring Iman. The faith of the believers, see, we are how many centuries down the line? We brought faith in absence. They were present, but they pretended to be bringing Iman. Their Iman is not Iman, our Iman is Iman, isn't it? Although we were not present when that message directly came at that time. Okay? So, the second context, it would mean those believers who brought faith in absence. In other words, their faith is not like that of the hypocrites who brought faith only as a pretense. But these people have brought faith sincerely, be it in the presence or absence of believers. In other words, we can even now discuss meaning the Sahaba Ikram stand. That those when they were with the Sahaba Ikram, with the companions, they believed, and those when they were were not present there in the court of the Prophet ﷺ, they still believed. But there were others who were there and claimed to believe, but they did not believe. Okay, like the hypocrites. Okay. Now, continuing explaining this, on the ghaib it is mentioned that these are those people, those special people there, who remain believers at all times. They were continuous in their iman, they were strong in their faith. In another commentary of the word ghaib, it has been stated that it refers to the heart. It refers to the heart. In this case, the verse would translate, those who have brought faith with their hearts. Those who have brought faith with their hearts. In other words, from the depth of their hearts, they have brought faith not only with the tongue. Okay? Sadrullah Fadil radiallahu anhu has given this as per the Tafseer of Tafseer Jaman. Okay? Now, he gives a little bit of explanation further on the same discussion now, because they're talking about faith, since the word faith came. Alladhina yu'minuna. Okay? To believe. Okay? So he says, what is the definition of faith? What is the definition of faith? So he's giving a simple explanation. He says, Iman, faith, refers to that which is known through true guidance and with complete conviction. It's that which you know through true guidance, through hidayah, and with complete yaqeen, with complete conviction. That, what is that conviction? That this is Deen Muhammadi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is Deen Muhammadi, the religion of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then to accept all that by accepting with the heart and testifying with the tongue. To accept with the heart and testifying with the tongue. All that which has to be accepted in Iman. To accept with the heart and testify with the tongue. This is the definition of Iman. This is called Iman. One's actions are not included in the definition of Iman. Your amal, not directly. Definition of Iman is in believing. The actions are the manifestation of what is there in Iman. It is a manifestation. Because of that Iman, you will do those actions. Okay? It is for this reason that after yu'minuna bil ghaib, Almighty Allah says, yuqimuna salat. First the discussion comes about Iman. Okay? First the discussion comes about Iman, and thereafter it comes about establishing Salah. Thereafter it comes about establishing Namaz. Meaning that prayer, Mufassirin said, what does that mean? That prayer, ibadat, Salah is after Iman. Is after accepting Iman. If a man doesn't accept Iman and he's making Allahu Akbar, he's going in ruku, he's going in sujood, this I'm expounding on this discussion. He does all of that. Is that namaz? It's merely an exercise. It's nothing. Because that is after Iman. That is why I'm expounding again, separate from what is explained in this tafsir, I'm expounding that how important it is to have strong Iman and to keep your Iman mazboot. How important it is. Everything is about the Iman. That is why the ulama haq, Ahlul Sunnah wal Jamaat, makes so much of emphasis on Iman. So much of emphasis on Iman. And not when you make, again I'm expounding, I'm not discussing from the actual tafsir here, now I'm expounding. That this is why it is so important to keep your Iman mazboot. And when we talk about Iman, you didn't hear our Kabeerin, one they tell you what Iman is, but on the other hand they will tell you how to protect that Iman. Who to stay away so that Iman stays safe. Why? Because without that Iman there is no Amal. There are no actions, there are no deeds without that Iman. So they explain that so importantly.
ज़मीनो ज़मां तुम्हारे लिए मकीनो मकान तुम्हारे लिए